And in that, I'm not just talking about the great martial events, the victories we commemorated today, and the many we don't have time to commemorate. I'm also thinking of the civilians who've done their duty. People such as, for example, the older ones will know, Grace Darling, the woman who, or the girl, to whom generations of our people, when that sort of high, thrilled at the idea of this lighthouse keeper's daughter, seeing a ship sinking and men out there drowning, getting in a rowing boat and rowing to rescue them and bringing those men out of the water, back to life and back to their families. Or you can look at, say, an Emily Pankhurst. Now, this isn't a feminist party. We believe in femininity, not feminism. But nevertheless, the idea that half of our population couldn't have a vote was an absolute scandal. Emily Pankhurst was refused membership of the Labour Party in Manchester simply because she was a woman. And she stood up to that, and she and her fellow suffragettes went through incredible suffering, half-starving themselves to death. They call it the cat and mouse game. They were half-starved, then let out till they were fattened up enough to go back into prison and half-starved themselves to death again. Now, IRA murderers have gone on hunger strike to get themselves special treatment, to get themselves not to have to wear prison uniform, to get themselves freedom of association in prison. The suffragettes went on hunger strike to get other women the vote. It's something totally different. It's an act of enormous heroism carried out on behalf of just over half the population of this country, and as a consequence, millions, billions of women all over the world. Came from Britain, came from one of our people doing what she felt was her duty. Finally, another one, Edith Cavell, another of those names, which anyone probably about my age or a bit more, or particularly self-educated, because you won't get it in the schools anymore, will have heard of. The nurse who, in occupied Belgium at the beginning of the First World War, helped more than 200 British and Belgian soldiers escape once they'd been trapped behind German lines, and once caught by the Germans, was shot for her crime of helping her fellow countrymen to escape in October 1915. Incredible heroism, forgotten about today. Coming up to the present day, how do you think it feels to see your husband vilified on the front page of every newspaper in the country? How do you think it feels to have your children exposed as the children of a monster on the inside of newspapers the length and breadth of the country? How do you think it feels to have your recently widowed mother and your sister doorstepped by scum journalists to ask what they think of Nick Griffin? How do you think it feels to have your own words twisted and turned into lies by Dominic Carman, a man so sick that he made a fortune out of besmirching the memory of his own dead father? How do you think it feels to be told, to be spoken of as being remarkable for nothing but being married to Nick Griffin, when in fact you are one of the country's leading experts in healing difficult-to-heal wounds, and thereby, because this country leads the world in that, one of the world experts in dealing with wound care? How do you think that feels? Jackie's felt like that. It's an incredible burden, and I love you. No time, sorry.
We love you too.
Oh, thank you. So, to conclude and to return to the heroines who risked or gave their lives, the Grace Darlings, the Emily Pankhursts, the Edith Cavells, They certainly, Grace Darling and Edith Cavell, are now utterly unknown to young people in this country, utterly untaught in schools, thrown deliberately down a memory hole. They just about keep Emily Pankhurst out there because they can use her to demonise all men in their feminist war against not just men, but the whole of our culture, the whole of our society. So she's just about around. Although I'm sure if they could find a black suffragette, yeah, they'd hold her up and forget about Emily Pankhurst. But the Grace Darlings, the Edith Cavells, they're unknown. And Sahari Wazi, the totally unelected and possibly unelectable Tory Muslim woman token, attacked me saying, what do you mean saying this is genocide? Don't you want to know what genocide means? Yes, I do, and they wouldn't let me say. Genocide, as explained by, as codified by international law and the United Nations Convention, doesn't just mean machine gunning or gassing people, wiping out populations. It also means arranging things so that the young people of any given population find it hard, some way or another, are disadvantaged to meet and to fall in love and have children. And there's various ways, everything from taxes through to relentless multiracial propaganda in which that war is waged against our people right now, day in and day out. And there's another way. It's depriving the young people of a population of a knowledge of their own heritage and their own culture and their own identity. And the United Nations says that is genocide, and that is precisely what is being done to us today. And our identity and our culture and our history is being crushed by a liberal left revolutionary war against our people, just as surely as that piece of gravestone has come out of the crusher of graves of our people in Manchester. It's precisely the same process. They, the liberal elite, including the Tory party, are deliberately setting out to grind down and crush and destroy even the memory of our people's past heroism, past great endeavours and identity, and the right of our people just to be ourselves in our own place under the sun. But not anymore. You're now right seeing at this very moment the point at which the British people wake up and are going to fight back through and with the British National Party. Not because we want to browbeat or because we're going to persecute or attack anybody else. We are not. But simply to secure for our own people the right to our own identity and to ensure that we have fair play for the British. Thank you very much.